What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Studio Breeze, and I'm here with my guy.
Keith Mills, what's good, y'all?
And we are here today with the Vanguard Wishlist Episode 6, Commentary Edition. We got my man's old man Luke Cage, and we got Rowdy Roddy Rhodes, that boy James Rhodes, the War Machine, here today for y'all today. These kids are going to go insane, put some real time into this, I can say for sure on my part, for sure ski. Learn some things about Luke Cage today, and it's not going to be your typical Luke Cage, I can tell you that. It's not going to be what you think it is.
Yeah, I definitely will say the same for War Machine. Like, I took inspiration from other video games to, kind of build out this kit. So I hope y'all definitely feeling it for sure. He's going to be a semi-flight Vanguard with 600 health and can have overshields up to 700. And what I mean by like semi, like he kind of runs around. Here comes the inspiration, like one of the Marines from the Warhammer games, and then he can fly around. But I'll talk more about that later on in the video.
Over here, I got a 675 HP Brawler Dive Tank with the power of Gamma Rays, the power of Khonshu, and the power of Iron Fist. Come on now. We're about to go crazy with this Luke Cage one.
It's in the comics, y'all. You gotta believe us.
Trying to tell you. So first up for the melee, we got 2 palm strikes dealing 15 damage each. With the primary, we got him swinging 2 semi-slow haymakers, each doing 30 damage, and then a thunderclap doing 35 damage always. So you can mix the melee in with the primary to end up doing a little 5-hit combo for you.
And for his melee, he uses a plasma blade that comes out of his wrist gauntlets, doing 20 damage per swing. And for his primary attack, he can use 2 different weapons. His first one is a minigun that's mounted on his shoulder that does about 35 damage per second. And his other weapon is like a stun baton, or warhammer, if you will. You've seen that in like Captain America: Civil War, in that airport fight. He was using that, and that does 25 damage per swing. But, and here's the kicker: you can hold it for 3 seconds to do up to 60 damage, but it can also deflect big projectiles like Iron Man or Magneto's ults. And whether you're using the minigun or the baton, you'll have different abilities, kind of like how Deadpool has different abilities for his blades and guns, respectively.
For ability 1, we got Flaming Iron Spear. Luke can charge his chi in his right hand, similar to Adam's Cosmic Cluster. It does 85 damage and it charges the same, but has a 6-second cooldown.
For War Machine's first ability, I call Heat Seeking Ordnance, which allows War Machine to use a homing missile on an enemy after focusing their aim on them for a few seconds once the ability is activated, doing 75 damage per missile with a cooldown of 20 seconds.
Alright, ability 2. We got Chi Redirection. He blocks all incoming attacks, creating an X with his arms for as long as 3 seconds, and it can be cancelled. 50% generating overshield for a max of 150 overshield, and the other 50% can be used as a blast to shoot back with a flaming punch projectile for a max of 150 health. It has to be used before you can block again with a cooldown of 6 seconds.
For his second ability, I call Up and Atom, which allows War Machine to either glide across the ground or fly in the air akin to Star-Lord for 8 seconds and either fire with his shoulder-mounted minigun, shoot from his gauntlet-mounted mini grenade launchers, which do 25 damage, but he only has 4 each use of the ability, but he can shoot them out rapidly. Or he can use his stun baton to slam down to the ground, doing 40 damage to anyone in a 5-meter distance. But if you, use your time properly, you're able to chain all 3 together to use, for maximum damage.
For ability number 3, we got Gamma Chain. He supercharges his chain belt with gamma energy and tosses it towards an enemy. If said enemy is hit, they are stunned for 1 second and slowed by 15% for 3 seconds total. It can also be recalled back after hitting, causing a gamma explosion for 50 damage with a cooldown of 8 seconds.
For his third ability, when he switches to his baton, he's able to use Shield Baton Carrier, which creates an overcharged shield that can take up to 600 damage. He'll lift it up in the air like how He-Man does, for context. War Machine can either disable the shield before it breaks to then gain not only a 10% damage boost, but unlimited ammo for 5 seconds in his guns and unlimited ability usage for 3 seconds, or he can slam the baton down to deal 70 damage as well as the negation of movement abilities for enemies for 3 seconds with a cooldown of 20 seconds.
Ability 4, Giant Gamma Stomp, an ability done both in the air and on the ground doing 55 damage, and if he does the stomp mid-air, it changes into a dive kick doing an extra 10 damage in a 5-meter radius with a 7-second cooldown.
And for his final ability, I call Saw Coming, which allows War Machine to shoot out a saw blade. Now, all right, hear me out. We're gonna get a little nuts here, guys. Just hear me out. This saw blade can be used to destroy shields like Strange's and Magneto's. It can also destroy Moon Knight's Ankh's, Squirrel Girl's Stampede, Penny's Mines, and etc. with a cooldown of 30 seconds. So it's one of those moves where it's like it'll change the tide of battle. You can really fuck up a shield or somebody's ult with this, and that's why it's such a big cooldown on it. So if it destroys a shield, it'll automatically be destroyed as well, but anything else, it can go through that and possibly destroy up to 3 other things. It also can do 30 residual damage to any enemy in its path.
And for Luke's passive, the more damage he takes fills up a gamma bar, and once he's 25% health, his body turns green, and the cooldown of his gamma abilities are reduced by 10%.
And for War Machine's passive, the closer he gets to death, the faster he gets, up to a 15% speed boost when his health is critical. But if he has the speed boost for more than 10 seconds, it is guaranteed that the next time he dies, the armor will explode 2 seconds after his death, doing 40 damage to anyone hit in an 8-meter distance.
And for my team up, I got him teaming up with Iron Fist. He basically just gets the ability to do the meditation in midair and gain his health back like Iron Fist. For his second team up ability with Hulk, Luke can Hulk out, having his eyes turn green and his body and his biceps turn green as well. And he does 10% more damage for his melee primary attacks and for 15% more damage with his gamma abilities.
For War Machine's team up, he of course has to buddy up with Iron Man, and you already know we're doing the move that they did in Iron Man 2. Roll the clip. That move is so badass. Please put that in the game, and my life is yours. I feel like that has to be a given at this point.
Oh, that'd be tough. Definitely. And for my boy Luke's ult, Celestial Iron Dragon. Luke transforms into his Celestial mode. This increases him in size similar to Monster Hulk size for 9 seconds, as opposed to Monster Hulk's 12 seconds. In this mode, all of his abilities cooldowns are halved, he's immune to CC, and anyone in his radius has a 15% damage reduction, a radius of 8 meters. He can also end his ult early to throw a Flaming Celestial Dragon summer from a Flaming Gamma Punch that deals 200 damage from the initial punch, and an extra 100 from the explosion, summoning the Dragon Shalal to create a Flaming Gamma explosion to anybody caught in the vicinity. Allies here, I am a true Celestial now, and enemies here fear the Iron Celestial. Luke Cage.
And for War Machine's ultimate, we're once going to get a little crazy here, and I call Warbuster, which allows him to call and use a War Machine themed Hulkbuster armor, gaining up to 800 health with a 20% damage boost, but with 10% speed reduction. He also still has access to all his guns, missiles, and grenades from his regular suit. And when he activates his ult, his teammates will hear "Fly, Fight, Win," which is a little Air Force phrase, and the enemy team will hear "The war is just beginning."
So for me, we got OG Luke Cage with the yellow button up with his metal headband and the metal arm bracers and the chain belt. Then we got Power Fist Luke Cage with his sort of Iron Fist type of like attire, but it's black and green instead of the usual yellow and greenish from Iron Fist. Then we got classic bald head Luke Cage with the yellow shirt and the big arm bracers. And then we got old man Luke Cage with the white beard, you know what I'm saying, shirtless with the chains on.
I found quite a few that I was like, they really could do a nice take on this in Marvel Rivals. So we got Iron Man Noir. Yeah, I didn't even know Mans was popping back then in the 1940s. I also said this back when we were doing I think it was our very first episode. I was doing Norman Osborn. I gave him the Iron Patriot. You also can give War Machine the Iron Patriot as well. Also his MCU suit, because that's just, come on man, it's pretty fire. And I've never known about this until I seen it, and it was fire. The Thor Machine. Flames.
That sounds tough. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing, but I love it. That's like combining two of my favorite characters. Amazing.
I didn't know this Luke Cage existed, so I understand how you feel.
Right.
And that has been our commentary edition for our Vanguards. Let us know in the comments what other Vanguards, what other DPS, what other strategies you would love to see, and we'll make a kit about them.
Shout out to the people who commented for these characters. We really appreciate the community getting involved. And speaking of the community, we have one on Discord, so check the description below. Go ahead, join that so we can have some more discussions popping with you guys more often, get more of the topics and more of the characters you might suggest. That's a good way to get in contact with us. So, without further ado, that's all we got to say on this one, guys. The Struggle Boys are signing out.
I'm Keese.
And I'm Breeze.
And the struggle arc continues.
Be breezy.